finally figured out why my microphones, I have two of these types of microphones. The other one is a little different, but both of them were just not working, and I could not figure it out. But I finally did. So I use my phone to film my videos, and I don't plug the microphone directly into my phone. There's a little adapter piece that I plug the microphone into, and then I plug that adapter into my phone. It was just old and it wasn't working as well as it should anymore. That was literally it. So I bought a new one and it's fine now. So yeah, hands-free. I mean, I liked that other little mic that I was holding, but I don't know, I'll probably switch back and forth or something. Who knows, darling? So today I'm going to be reading some Glitch in the Matrix stories. I feel like I haven't done that in a long time, and I really like these kinds of stories. So get comfy, get cozy, get your little blanket or whatever, and buckle up. The first story is called I Survived a Motorcycle Accident That I Shouldn't Have. I love these. These are so crazy. I used to go to my university on a motorcycle. One day I was late for class and was driving quite fast. Suddenly a man on a horse cart came from the side and blocked the entire 2-lane road. I was going too fast to be able to slow down and was about to crash right in the middle of the horse cart. When I was about 5 meters away from the horse cart, I panicked and closed my eyes. When I opened them, I found myself on the side of the road and my bike was stationary. I looked up and the road in front of me was clear. I looked back and the horse cart was still there, but 15 meters behind me. I never applied my brakes and had apparently teleported 20 meters away safely on the side of the road. I still can't explain it to this day. That's freaky. The next one is called Another Me Got Home Before I Did. Going back a few years now, but my whole family remembers this vividly. I got home approximately 3 to 4 a.m. after having been out drinking all night to find the door locked and bolted from inside. So my keys do not work, so I have to wake someone up to let me in. Mom reluctantly and sleepily opens the door and asks me why did I go back out again. Well, I hadn't. I had just gotten home. But she says I came home about 2 hours prior. Let myself in, and she spoke to me from across the room while she was watching TV, but I only said a couple of words and went upstairs to my bed. Who was it then? My brother and dad both heard the conversation while they were upstairs and heard footsteps going up the stairs. Naturally, my first reaction is to check upstairs, but no sign of anything. There were always spooky things going on in that home, so we just assumed the ghost had a thing for me. Edit. I took the time to write about my other happenings in that same house to a comment here, so might as well paste it here too for anyone else interested. My dad used to live in the house next door as a kid and did a Ouija board. You know how I feel about Ouija boards. They saw spirits quite regularly after this. Like my nan saw some little girl crying in her bedroom once. I think my granddad saw a dead army vet walking through the house once and through a wall. I often wondered if my room became like the local ghosts hangout spot or something because I sometimes felt someone sit at the end of the bed. No one there. My brother had friends stay in my room when I was out, and they said to him they experienced weird shit. Not sure what though, never found out the specifics. Had other little instances of different cats being scared and always looking up at the staircase frightened. Had things like Legos come randomly flying down that staircase when everyone, including the cats, were downstairs. I also had one night where I got into bed and before falling asleep, it felt like someone laid on top of me, holding the sides of the covers down and whispered something I can't quite recall now into my ear. That one does actually send shivers. Just remembering and writing it, but no full-on proper hauntings or anything that made us want to leave. Lived there for 20 years before my parents downsized. I go past the house sometimes as my dentist is still there, and I wonder if the newer residents have experienced anything, but I ain't knocking and asking. Hell, They might recognize me as having let myself in at 2 a.m. with them too at some point. You never know. The next one is called The Dress. Okay, so this keeps happening to me, honestly. I bought a dress 6 months ago. The dress has this label at the back that was very big and was made of lace, so you could actually feel it. The front had this belt that's inside the dress with the 2 open slots in the front to pull and make it tight on the waist. I don't know what you call those, but hope y'all get the idea. I've worn the dress for 6 months and it actually was very comfortable and one of my go-to dresses when doing casual stuff with friends. Yesterday, when I wanted to wear the dress to go somewhere with a friend, I found out that the 2 pulling holes of the dress that were at the front of the dress were at the back with the label. And I've always tied this dress at the front, not the back. I would have noticed if I wore it backside front, considering the label at the back was massive and it's irritating. So yeah, my dress changed its pattern on me after 6 months. The next one is called My Huskies Love Snow So Much. One of them glitched outside last night. It's been a snowy week where I live, and I had a weird glitch with one of my dogs last night. One of my dogs is happy to stay out in the snow until we literally drag him inside or entice him with treats, while the other prefers to go in and out every 20 minutes all day. Last night I let the in and out dog in. He brought a chunk of ice with him and happily laid down to eat it. I went to sit down in the living room and my husband unpaused the show we were watching so we could continue. The 2 of us made some comments about the dog eating ice and other general small talk. About 10 minutes went by while we watched TV together, and all of a sudden I hear the distinct sound of in-and-out dogs bark coming from outside. Husband and I look at each other with confusion, and I get up to check. Sure enough, he's back outside. The door was closed, no one lives with us, and neither of us left the couch between the time I let him in and the time we heard him barking. We are both still baffled about how exactly he pulled off glitching his way outside like that. But hey, maybe he can start doing it more often and save me the trouble of going to the door so much. LOL. The next one is called Missing Work Shoes. My husband wears the same shoes to work every single day without fail. Monday after work, he came home sick. He took his work shoes off, got undressed, and got into bed for a nap. Tuesday, inclement weather caused his work to close, so he was home for the day. He never needed his work shoes, so didn't pay any attention to them. Wednesday morning, he got dressed and went to put on his work shoes. They are gone. We have a very small 2-bedroom apartment, and we have absolutely scoured every inch of the place. We looked all of the reasonable places, then all of the unreasonable places. Then we looked again and again. Then we looked in the impossible places. Then we started over. Finally, he gave up and wore some spare shoes to work. Even though we know his work shoes would not be in his car, he did look there anyway just to make sure. They aren't there. Today is Thursday. They are still missing. I keep looking and looking for them in all the same spots, expecting them to just suddenly turn up, because where could they have possibly gone? Between Monday and Wednesday, no one visited or came into the apartment. The only times he left the apartment himself were to take out the dog, and he doesn't use work shoes for that. We have no idea where they are. Like I said, it's a small place. If you can think of a place to look, we probably did look there already. We are bewildered. The next one is called Woman Disappeared in Bathroom Stall. Over winter break, I took my 14-year-old daughter shopping at a mall in the big city we're originally from. I had to use the restroom, so we found a ladies' room and we went in. There was a line of 3 to 4 women waiting for the 4 stalls, which all seemed full. Other women were washing their hands. It was quite a busy scene for such a small restroom. The woman waiting right in front of me was middle-aged, wearing tight-fitting, younger-style clothing, dark skinny jeans, and a bright-colored shirt, possibly red or pink, and tennis shoes. She had full, thick, long, reddish hair. I remember she went into the first stall when it became free. As I was now first in line, I scrolled on my phone while I waited for another stall to open up, but it seemed like a really long time went by. I turned frustrated at how long everyone was taking. Finally, I thought to bend over and look underneath, which I hadn't done before since there were several people in line when I came in, so I assumed they had done that already. I was absolutely shocked to see that there were no feet under the first stall, but I figured I got mixed up and just went in that one to take care of business. After my daughter and I left the bathroom and we were walking back towards the stores, I said, "That was weird. I saw the woman in front of me go into the first stall, but then it was empty." And her eyes got big as saucers, and she said, "I did too." We both very specifically remembered what the woman looked like, that she went into the first stall, then totally disappeared. She was ahead of us in line, but we didn't see her at the sink washing her hands or pass by us or anything. We never saw her again. My daughter is an extremely observant person who's always looking around and remembering things. I am much more spacey, so it really freaked me out when she corroborated my story. Is the mall lady's room a portal to another dimension? That'd be wild. The last story of the evening is called Boyfriend Disappeared Mid-Conversation. Can you imagine? This happened a few months back, but I'm new to Reddit, so am just now finding a place to post about it. It was weird, and I still think about it sometimes. A few months ago, my boyfriend and I were coming home from a trip to visit my family. We live in a small second-floor apartment that overlooks our parking lot. We were unpacking the car, bringing stuff upstairs little by little, and my family had sent us with a lot of food, so one load we brought up all had to be unloaded into the fridge. As I was unloading the food, my boyfriend was standing at the counter and we were having a full conversation. I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but it was something you wouldn't just walk away from. Anyways, he's standing there, and as I'm talking, I'm turned around to put something in the fridge, but when I look back, he was gone. I was confused because, again, we were in the middle of a conversation, but I was like, is he hiding from me? Is he playing a joke? So I started laughing and looking for him around the apartment. After a few minutes, I was like, what the heck is going on? Because he was nowhere to be found. Sometimes he steps onto the patio to smoke. So I opened the door, and while he wasn't on our patio, I saw him downstairs unloading the car. I was really confused about how he got downstairs so fast, and why he left in the middle of our conversation. Well, he came back up a few minutes later and had to knock because apparently the front door was locked, and he didn't have his keys. How did the front door get locked with him outside, without keys, and me not knowing that somehow he left? The front door is in the kitchen I was in. I would have heard the door open and close, but I heard and saw nothing if he'd left. I was also just literally putting something down in the fridge, so I had my back to him for like a split second. How could he possibly get to the door so fast? And I didn't see anything. None of it makes sense to me, and when I asked him about it, he had no idea what I was talking about, and no memory of our conversation while I was unloading food.